Hey Heidi Ho, it's currently 2 in the morning. I just got home from watching Weapons. I'm laying down in bed because I need to get up in a couple hours for work. But I thought to do this review video before I forget everything. Um, it was a disappointment, to say the least. From the trailers I saw, which was only 2, I'm trying to stay away from watching too many trailers because they just revealed too much in the movie. It looked like it was going to be High Cat. It looked like it was going to be an actual good horror movie. Um, But I guess I should have expected less after seeing the AI trailer. My bad, won't do that again. Um, man, it had so much potential to be good, but they just did not do it right. Biggest gripe, biggest complaint, the POVs. They kept going back and forth in the story like 6 different times, and some of those POVs just felt so utterly useless for no reason. Like one of them was about a homeless man. Spoiler warning, by the way. I'm not gonna spoil too much, but spoiler warning, anyways. Homeless guy. He is never sober, and he runs into a cop, and then he runs away, and then he runs into the cop a little later, and he winds up finding the kids, which is the integral part of the story. Where did they go? Who took them? He found them. And then he got put in a thing, and he was no longer needed in the film. So all he did was show where the kids stay. I'll get back to why that's unimportant in a minute. The police officer, Paul, he was a cool character. I liked him. But he was also not important. His role was to just help the story of the homeless guy. So if the homeless guy wasn't important, what did Paul do? Nothing. He basically did the same thing. Just, he went to work. He had sex. He went to work. Got in trouble for having sex. Went to work. Found the homeless guy the second time. First time he knocked the shit out of him, and then the second time he was like, hey, I'm gonna knock the shit out of you again. Chased him back to the camp. Who cares? And then gets shown the house that the kids were staying at. He goes in, and then he gets in a spell, I guess you want to say, and then no longer really needed, besides just to be another bad guy to fight at the very end. Whoop-de-doo. Marcus, Benedict Wong, Sorcerer Supreme. His character, he was the principal or something at the school. Honestly, I don't remember. I think principal. He didn't really add a whole lot to the story either. He was just kind of shown as a support for Jennifer Garner's character. Just kind of trying to keep her sane, which wasn't working at all. So the one clip in the trailer I was talking about when he's Naruto running at her, that's the only real big thing he did. He showed us a little bit more of the background of like what's actually going on, which was nice. A nice little addition. And his story wasn't too long, so it wasn't too annoying to deal with. It was like maybe 5 minutes long, 10 minutes max. And he had another pretty cool scene where he caved the head of another guy with his head. That was pretty sick. And then but those were those 3 characters, and then there was Alex, Jennifer Garner's character, which I already forget her name, and Josh Brolin's character, which I already forget the name as well. Jennifer Garner is the main character. She is worried about the kids, as everybody else is. So the whole movie is her trying to find the kids, and shit goes awry towards her. They never really specify why they're so focused on attacking her, but whatever. I guess that's unimportant, apparently. But at some point, she runs into Josh Brolin's character, who is the father of one of the missing kids, Matthew. He's going crazy because he lost his kid, and there's 16 other kids that are missing. He eventually finds her, interrogates her, and then also calls her a witch. But then Benedict Wong comes in, Naruto running. attacks Jennifer Garner. So then Josh Brolin's like, I'm going to save you. And then he does. And then they become friends. And then they try and find the kids. And then that's when they get to the house. Where then it's like, whoa, we're at the house. Where are the kids? Is that Alex? And then with Alex, we go back in time for a sixth time, a little bit further. Shows that it wasn't happening. The night the kids went missing and the 30 days that transpired wasn't the start. It actually was going on for a little bit before that, a couple days. And it turns out the big bad is his aunt, who is like terminally ill and is a witch. So she like casts spells, and that's why the people go crazy. And that's basically what he does. He's a pretty cool character. I like him actually. He was pretty well done. So basically, the movie culminates. They're all in this house. Paul gets shot in the head by Jennifer Garner. The homeless guy gets thrown, and then punched, and then punched, and then punched, and then kicked, and then punched, and then thrown. And then he's kind of just incapacitated at that point. And then Alex is running away from his parents, who have gone crazy as well from the witch. And he finds a way to fix the spell, which is just basically sending all the kids that were in the basement at the aunt, which is the crazy witch. And if they kill her, then boom, everything's back to normal. Not. So he does that. And then the kids are like, whoa, we have a new target. So then they go after her, rip her apart to shreds. But before they do that, it's like a 2-minute sequence of just them running after her. And it was so comical. And that is another big problem with this movie, is there was like 2 jump scares that actually got me. Maybe 4 jump scares total. And like, so much of it was just so funny. Unfortunately. I'm so tired of horror movies being funny instead of scary. There's one scene with Josh Brolin's character where he goes outside, he looks up, then above the house is just an AR-15 with lightning striking in the background. Like, it's so goofy. But yeah, half the time they try to be scary too, it just comes off as funny. I went with my buddy Isaiah, and the majority of the time we were cracking up because it was just so goofy. Which is really a shame, because I had high hopes and really was hoping that like this would be proper horror movie to kickstart fall. But nope. Better luck next time, I guess. Probably missed some stuff, but that's okay. It's 2 a.m. Yeah, just a disappointment. Cinematography was pretty well done. The acting was pretty decent. Jennifer Garner is, God, so fine. I believe her name is Jennifer Garner. I could be completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Jennifer Garner. Yeah, she's so fine. Anyways, bye-bye.